Let me start by saying that I want to thank all of the emergency services around the country and the civil defence departments who have responded so rapidly to the earthquakes. As you're aware, a national emergency hasn't been called. It's only called under the legislation if locally it's deemed that they are not able to carry out their functions and responsibilities. That hasn't been the case. So all 16 of the regions around the country have activated their civil defence requirements and been monitoring their own local situation. In terms of firstly dealing with the quake itself, the best advice we have is probably what you know. There was a 7.5 metre, 7.5 on the Richter scale, 15 metres deep, but it also went, we think, about 100 kilometres out to sea, and that's the issue that caused the potential tsunami, was that it wasn't on land solely, it went out to sea. We know that waves were as high as 2 metres. We also know that New Zealanders responded absolutely as they should be in this instance. They didn't go down to the beach, they didn't go and ignore the warnings, they took the advice seriously. We now know that those around the country, that tsunami risk has been downgraded to coastal warnings, but we also urge people just to continue to be cautious. In terms of the areas that are most affected, that's clearly on the east coast around that sort of Kaikoura area and inland around Colvard and the likes. We've had very limited communications there because that's been cut off, so we've been working through police comms during the night. We obviously want to thank everyone for the response that's been going on. Sadly, on the best information we have, there have been 2 fatalities. At this point, we're unable to give you precise information of what caused those fatalities, but as soon as we have better information, obviously we'll come back to you. I want to thank everyone who's supported New Zealanders along the way. There's been a huge number of people here, for instance, in Wellington, that have been evacuated from hotels and the likes, and we've been putting those into the response centres. For instance, here in the Beehive, we've been confident about the facilities. It's important that people to continue to follow the messages that will be broadcast during the day. In terms of getting a better assessment of what happens next, we have military helicopters that are available to us. The NH90 is going to be going down to Kaikoura very rapidly. The area is cut off from a road perspective, so there's somewhat a limit of what we can do in the first instance, but we obviously want to put one of those helicopters down there. There's another one that will be in Wellington. St John's have been flying people in. As soon as we can get a much better assessment of the actual damage, then we can work out the next steps from here. But one of the purposes of putting the helicopter down there, other than just trying to provide reassurance to the people of Kaikoura, is also to make sure that we can provide them better comms